Hey everyone, I am just trying to get caught up here. So hopefully you can hear me. Okay, I think you can. Um, I had to work, come home, we ate, and of course I'm trying to get everything together. So I am looking for a piece of fabric to applique. So give me a second. I got some new shelving units for my fabric and stuff, so everything's kind of a mess. So give me just a second. I'm gonna go find a piece. Oh, what about this? It's just oh, why did he? No, no. Found some. But I'm waiting for my iron to heat up so I can back it. So give me a second. I know this one, doing these during the weeknights are tough because I never allow myself time to get prepared. You know, it's me. What else do we expect? So I hope you're all doing well. Okay, I think I'm ready over there. One second. I'm back. So I found some old Cape stripes that I had. Just scrap. This was a scrap piece. But look how beautiful that is. I don't normally like stripes because they're too straight, because that's what stripes are. Um, However, if I could ever get a bunch of this again, I would. It's the case, and I'll hold it up. I'm just gonna trim it off here. And show you that it's irregularly. It's just kind of messy stripes. Sorry, my fan is on. And I love that. It's, I'm not an A type person, I'm not a B type person. I'm an every letter type person. So, okay, so we got that. And now what I'm gonna do, guys, is just quickly hoop some material here, just so we have something to start with. By the way, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope that you've been having a good weekend, whatever. Come on. I've just got such big pieces here. Just do it. And if this works out, then I'm gonna be so excited. So I really don't have much prepared, but I wanted to do this. I played with it a little bit, and I'm kind of calling, or I'm not calling it, it is considered knockout applique. So back in if we go back to, let me go to our Facebook group. So if we go and look back a couple days ago, and I'm looking at from, it was 2 days ago, May Lynn asked a question. And basically, I've been seeing a lot of designs with an applique block letter and a script name cut from the side. Was wondering if this could be made in IQ, or has anyone tried it? So I am going to do this. And I've kind of played around with it a little bit, but I think we can get it done. It's just going to take a little effort. The first thing that we've got to do is find a letter. So yes, we can use our built-in letters and outline them, but there's a size problem with that. We may not get the size we want. So it's always best for me to start with like a line design. And what I mean by that is if I go to Google, okay, 1 second. I'm going to get Google pulled up and then I'm going to drag y'all in there with me. There we go. Okay. Snooze. Okay. Where are we? Here we are. Let me get y'all guys pulled back up. Just in case there's questions. I don't know why my thing's not showing up. There must be something going on with my internet. Well, there. Um, there we go. Oh yeah, Becky, it was the heat index was 120 here today. So yeah, I agree with you. It's miserable. So miserable. Okay. So let's keep that over there so I can read your comments. So I'm going to take y'all to Google with me. And we're going to first see what these look like. And then I'm going to show you how I'm kind of started to design it. And you're just going to be with me on the design process tonight. You're going to be doing what I do in the sense of, I don't know what I'm doing, so how am I going to make it? So, yay. When I design things for you guys, I go out there and do a little bit of research. And I don't even have my microphone on, so I don't know if y'all can hear me very well. But I do a little bit of research and I try to figure out how to do this. So since y'all should see this right now. Since everything is made in steps, we think of things in steps. I have to think backwards when I'm designing. So think about an applique design. So we've got 3 parts to an applique, correct? Okay. So the first part is, and I mean, there could be 4, but we're going to start with 3. So first thing is we have a placement line. So that line stitches out, and when we're done with that stitch out, we put a big old piece of honking fabric on top of it, right? And then what's our next stitch? You're right, placement stitch. So the placement stitch gets stitched down. After that, we do our trimming, correct? Get it super close to that stitch line. And then the last stitch is our finishing stitch, which is generally a satin zigzag stitch, right? Okay, so if I'm trying to figure out how to design something, what I do is start with the top part, so the zigzag. So what would come next if I have to start building a design? So I reverse the idea. And so that's how my design process works. So you're going to kind of see that tonight because I fully haven't figured this out, but I'm going to tonight with you. Okay. I think this would be a cool way to kind of show you guys how I do this too. So yeah, Mayland, it was you. Yay. No, that was so cute. And I was like, well, this is probably going to be super popular very, very soon. So might as well jump on the bandwagon. The other thing I need to figure out is how to Yeah. I lost my, y'all, I lost my clip to hold my microphone on. So guess what? We're going to use a lip clip. You know what I'm talking about. These are what these sewing clips are good for. Okay, so hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't hear me when we're going throughout the process. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and get everything just kind of ready so we can jump on board. I got some thread to match. I got a pretty blue. Now, there are going to be some letters when we do this that are going to be harder to work with, but that's okay. We can figure it out. So let's do this. Let's share screen. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like, okay? So knockout, um, embroidery, I think it was embroidery letters. And I put with name, I think is how I figured it out. There they are. Yep, there it is. There's one. So this is what Mei Lin showed us, something similar to this one. So I wish I could get this. Let me see if I can get this one bigger. Hopefully you guys can see this. Ugh. There we go. So if we look at this, so this is from Etsy. If we look at this project here, first off, it's a normal applique letter, correct? Okay. But then we have a name that's right here. And we have the cutout of the name right here. So I had to sit here in my mind and think about what we have in IQ Designer. And we have some tools that we can use. And how can we create this? The first part I looked at, of course, is the applique. And so I know an applique has 3 steps, or at least mine does normally. 3 steps. So I know how to build that applique already. And we've done it together several times. So we're going to build that. But how do we get this knockout right here? How do we do that? Well, I had to think about that. I am going to be using our built-in letters, but you can bring in literally custom letters. You can bring in letters that you purchased and do this, but I'm just going to use our letters that are built in. I grabbed the letter M because it's going to be the easiest to start out with. So how I did that was, let's go back to Google. Let me just get out of here. Let's just go to the beginning. And I typed in, what did I type in? Can't remember. I think I said letter. I must have did letter. Oops, let's type it. Oh, letter M outline, I think is what I did. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I did. And I went to the images. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, if you have your machine, right, that has IQ Designer built in, so you have the IQ positioning app. We're going to be using that, okay? And that's going to be off my phone. So really, I am going to look for this, what we're talking about right here, these. Actually, I'm going to go to the search engine on my phone and look for these, okay? Or you can put these on a USB and bring it over to your machine. However, I was looking through here on my phone and I found a real pretty one. I just can't remember what one. I mean, it's in my phone. It's not here. But let's pretend so that would be cute actually. Selected. I mean, really this one. Let's say I selected this one. If I'm on my computer, I can right click this and save image. To where it's going to go to my downloads. You can name it, whatever. So I can save it to my downloads. And when you do that, you can go to your downloads on your computer. There's usually, and I don't know how to do it in Apple, I only know how to do it in regular. A little file folder that you can open up, and off to the left-hand side, there's a button that's, or some words that say download. Open that up, and you can save this image to a USB stick. Now, if we're doing it on our phone, let me show you. Okay, so I've got some pulled up. Okay, let me back out of this. Oh, of course. You can't see it because of the lighting. Little bit. Now, if I was on my phone, I don't know why everything has to be so difficult, right? I'm going to type in the same thing in my search engine. I am going to, with Apple, I can pick one, press and hold that. So you can kind of see that to the side there. And it's going to give me some options, and I click Save to Photo. Okay. So with that, when I saved it to Photos, I can go, I have everything separated out, and it's hard to see. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Maybe I could do it on, hold on. Let me see this. Maybe we can do it on the IP though, where you can see what I'm doing. Let's check that out. Oh, that's better. And let's go back to the letters. Let's say I picked this one. I'm not going to, but let's say I did. So what I'm going to do is press and hold. And can you see those little options that popped up? It says right here, save to photos. So I can hit that, and it's going to save to my photos. Again, this is Apple. I don't know how to do it on the other. But then I'm going to go to my IQ positioning app and go to if you have the Solaris, you're going to have monitoring, but we're going to click the IQ positioning app, and you're going to go to select image for creating a design, and it's going to pull up all my images here, everything. But I had already saved a couple M's here, and I really liked this one. Thought it was really pretty, really cute. So I'm going to select that one and send it to my machine. Okay, so it says sent to IQ Designer. Okay. All right. So once I did that, oh, watch out. Once I did that, let me flick back over to you all. Once I do that, I'm ready to start the process. So now I can start creating with this letter. Let me get y'all pulled back up. Got to make sure I can get them questions. How did it close out? There we go. All right. So I need to bring this closer to me. So this is going to be a little bit of a process. So if you can't stay, it's fine. You remember it's going to be recorded. And if I remember, I will upload it to the YouTube channel. A lot of times I forget. So let's go ahead and jump over to the machine. And so you can do this on your Meridian, your Altair, Meridian 2, Altair 2. You can do this on your Solaris and all the upgrades, and you can do this on the Radiance. So if you have IQ Designer or the Brother Like, you can do this. So here we go. Let's switch over. All right. Now, again, I have not fully designed this. Oops. I have to turn my chair around, and that means that I'm going to knock everything over. So I have not fully designed this. You're just going along with me on a ride. Yay. All right, I just want to make sure you can see that. Is that too dark? The closer, the better. Aha. Okay, so also, I went ahead and I guess I always keep it plugged in, is my wired mouse that I plug in. And this really does help with designing. Of course, you can use your little styluses or your finger, but I mean, you're going to have a lot more control when you have tools, of course. Let me take a sip over that. So we found our letter. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that letter and turn that line design into something we can use for our project. So if I'm home, I can select IQ Designer. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm getting you all closer so I can see anything you're asking, whatever. So I'm going to click on IQ Designer. The next thing that I want to do is recall that image that we sent over. Now, it doesn't matter which machine you're on, you're going to have similar buttons. So to recall that image from the IQ positioning app, we want to find the little guy with a leaf. And it's got an arrow going out. So yours may be here, yours may be here, it may be somewhere. But I'm going to tap on that and I'm going to select the word line or the words line design, not image, not illustration, but line design. And then from this point, if you had it on a USB stick, you save that to a USB stick, you can hit USB. Well, you would want to bring it and then select USB. But I saved it through Wi-Fi. So I'm going to click the little Wi-Fi button. It's always going to be the last thing that you send is always going to be a. Let's tap that. And there's my M. Okay. Now I'm going to hit set. And that looks really, really good. Don't worry about size right now. If you want, you can change the line of this part, and I'm going to go ahead and do that and put it as a running stitch. You can do that later, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So this is perfect. So I'm going to select OK. Now, if for some reason it looked like this, you would want to drag these down. Or if you had extra stuff here, you could pull this up so that doesn't get brought over. So I'm going to select OK. And there's my image. Ooh, that came off beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So next I'm going to hit set. And it always comes up with the image in the background. So if you look on your machine and you see these little leaves and some lines in between, a running, well, no, that's a blanket stitch in between them. You can select the lighter one until that image goes away. But this looks beautiful. Now I can get nitpicky and go in and erase little guys like this, which all you would do is select your eraser and then always start below it, gingerly go up to it. I think I saw another one. It's right there. So this is going to be an applique. This will become a stitch if I don't erase it. So I do not want that there. And come up below it and come up to it. Use the corner. Now, there's an opening. I have to start over. Okay. This took me a while to get to master this using just the corner of the eraser. But now I'm going to zoom out. Okay. There we go. So we have our beautiful, beautiful image. So at this point, I want to just save this. And you might have a pocket that has an arrow going in, or you might have the word memory. So let's select memory, and I'm going to save it to the machine. Okay. Now we're going to leave this. Don't forget to save this. Now we're going to leave this item. Okay. We're going to go home, select OK, and we're going to go to embroidery. So Again, you can bring in your own letters. That is just fine. However, I'm going to just use our built-in letters here. Now, remember, these will only go up to certain sizes, but that's okay. I can work with that. So I'm going to select this really pretty one I have right here. So I love this one. And I'm going to use my niece's name. It starts with an M. It's Micah. So we're going to click M. I'm going to go lowercase I C A H. Perfect. And I'm going to hit set. Now I'm going to go to my size button, and it's not going to let me make it a lot bigger. If this was highlighted, we could make it a lot bigger than what we're about. But let's just take a look at it. Let's see how big we can. Wow. I mean, we can get it almost 5 inches. I don't want it that big. I actually want it a lot smaller. I want it to be, I don't know, I'm going to say around the width, the length, the width to be around, we're going to say 3 inches. And I'm going to say, okay, that's perfect. I'll just zoom in so you can see it a little bit. See how beautiful that lettering is? If we take it over to embroidery, those red lines go away, but see how pretty that is? Okay. I love the names of my nieces. They have, I mean, my sister was so creative, and the girls were so creative with theirs. So we have Whitley, who has a son named MJ, which is short for Michael Jerome, which is Cajun. And then Micah, who has 2 little girls and another one on the way. And their names are Thea, Lottie, and the new one is going to be Effie. Are those cute? Ah! Where did you go, Frozen? I'm not sure. Janie, you may want to back out and come back in. Am I freezing up? Oh. Is it just, nope, I see my mouse moving. Okay. Okay. I have to say there are some storms running through, so if it does freeze up, just I'll be back on if it knocks me off. Let's put it that way. Okay. Anywho, let me know again if I'm still freezing up. Good here. Okay, good. So, anyways, I have my name ready. I got it to the size I want. Now what I want to do is, which we've used this several times before, is we want to go to our little flower right here. And what do you think we're going to do? We're going to create an outline of the name. So I'm going to start moving this distance away until I think I have enough space around the bottom of the letters. I'm just looking at the bottom of the letters. I don't care about the top. I want to look at the bottom of the letters, and it'll make more sense here. And that looks pretty good. That's really close, but I'll push one more. So that looks really good. I guess I can't zoom in. So I'm happy with that. That would look good. That's fine. I still have the outline. It's kind of choppy, like the one I showed you. But it's still outlining that. So what I want to do now is select memory. And what it's going to say to me is, Anna, you're going to find this outline in IQ Designer in the stamp pattern list. But it gives me pictures. So IQ Designer, I'm going to push this button with the circle and square. Okay. Do you need to save the name first? Yeah, well, you can. Well, we're almost there. So we're going to select OK. Now, yes, you could have saved this name first, but you can also save it now. So we are going to save the name to the machine because we've got it at a specific size that we want. Exactly. So now we're going to leave again. We're going to click our home button. and then go to IQ Designer. Now, this is where you gotta kind of do a little bit of math, kind of thinking, because our name is only going to be so big. Our outline, we don't want to change the size of that, of the name, because it's only so big. However, let's pull that letter back up. So you're going to, I should have said, you're going to go to the pocket with the arrow going outside of it, like it's hitching a ride. That's going to open up what we've saved. And there we go. So here's my M. You see I was practicing here. So I'm going to grab the M and I'm going to say okay. Great. Now, if we remember the length of, well, the width of the name was about 3 inches. And if I go to my size key, this is, kind of big. So I'm going to shrink it down. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of play with it. Maybe about, let's try that. I'm just playing with it. Oh, I'm going to be using a 5x7 hoop, so I'll probably want to go a little smaller. Let's go to the length about 4 inches, and the width, whatever it shows up. Okay, we're going to start with that. If I don't like it, I can always change it. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my outline. And do you remember where it told me to find it? Yep. It's going to be in that circle square. So we're going to tap that key. We're going to look for that same flower right up here. I'm going to tap it, and there it is right there. I'm going to click it, and okay. Now you're just going to see the outline come in. You will not see the name. We're just using the outline. The name is on the embroidery side of the machine. Right now, we're on the IQ side of the machine. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so here is that little guy right here. Okay, this is my outline of the name Micah. So I am going to select my M and move it away. And if you can't do that on yours, I'm going to show you how you can do that. Let's do that real quick. Close, zoom out. So if you have two objects on here that are not crossing over each other, and you need to select one or the other, one of your options that every machine is going to have is down here. You can see this little dotted square. Okay, you're going to make sure it's highlighted. Mine is, it's blue. And I'm going to come up under my item, draw a box around it, and it selects it. If I click off accidentally, I can use the back button to get it to highlight it again. Now, my other little outline is up here. So if I want to select that one, I just highlight it and select it. However, if you have some upgraded versions of machines, you may have this little guy right here, and you can just tap on the image and it will select. So that's just kind of a nice little tidbit. Okay, so I'm going to select this guy and just move him over just so we can see. And we are going to take our outline and start working with it. However, we want to look at the orientation. We want to remember which part is top and bottom. We brought this in, so we know that this is the bottom, and we know this is the top. This is the part, the bottom part is where I'm going to line it up right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to my rotate key, rotate it once 90 degrees to the left, and start dragging it down. And kind of, depending on how big this is, I'm going to drag it in just a little bit of a good ways in there. And now, let me kind of zoom in. You can see that the outline of my name is right here. There's the letter right here. And we're just going to start with this. I mean, eventually you may find that you want things to go further in. You may find that you want them further out. But since this is a process we're working with together, then I'm just going to start right here. Okay. So the next thing is we do not need any of this outside stuff, right? Hey, Edward. We do not need this line right here. So we're going to erase everything except for what's here. So we're going to erase this line and everything outside of that line. So let's go grab our eraser. I just like the square. It's up to you what you use. And I'm just going to get rid of the bulk of it before I start getting really, funky with it. So we're going to go here. And then you can see I have some pieces left over. That's when I like to zoom in and erase those with a smaller eraser. So make them all smaller. And then I'm always going to come up underneath. Now look what I did. I broke the line. We're going to use the back button. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, I want that. Ooh, perfect. Right now, I'm going to come here and grab these little pixels. And they are pixels. That's all it is. They're little bitty boxes. You're just getting rid of the boxes. All right, now we're going to scroll down to the bottom and get rid of these guys right here. Okay. So, eraser. I'll get rid of the big chunks, and then I'm going to let go. And now erase again right here. Take a breath. And come here. All right, now let's see what this looks like. Okay, so now, let's get it. Oh, I just did something I didn't want to do. Just draw a box around. Oh, I can tell. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to center it. Can you go to the center? Oh, what did I do? Oh, things are not connected. Okay, so right now, and I forgot about this. Right now, the outline is considered a no sew stitch, there's no real attributes to it. It's just a drawing. But this one, I had told it in the very beginning to be a running stitch. Now we're going to zoom in so I kind of see what I'm talking about. So you kind of see how much lighter. This one is a little bit lighter than this line here. So what we need to do is assign our little zigzags a stitch line. So we're going to go to our line properties, which is the grouping of 4 up at the top. Select the piece of paper. Select the running stitch. I'm going to leave everything black. It's fine. And I'm going to push OK. Now I want to turn on my bucket because I'm going to tap my little zigzag, line, my outline line. There we go. Now everything is attached. So I'm going to come and draw a box around everything. And let me see if it'll move now. Nope. Okay, I have. I just want it in the center because I wanted it in the center enough, just so we can see it together. There we go. Now it looks like my M got eaten up by the Cookie Monster. That's okay. I'm okay with that because we're going to go play with it in just a moment. So what we want to do now is save this. Make sure you save this. Make sure you save this. Make sure you save this. So it's either going to be your pocket with the arrow going inside of it, depending on what machine you're on, or the memory button. So let's select memory and select our little sewing machine. Yay! So it's saved to my machine's memory. I save everything to my machine's memory. I mean, this poor little girl, she's just got so much information, and I really need to go in and clean it. Okay, So at this point, I've saved it. I'm going to click next. And what this is going to do is this is going to be, if we think of this is going to be an applique. So if we think about our appliques, the very first stitch is our placement stitch. So we're going to select set, okay. And there it is. So we're going to build our applique first before we bring the name back in. We're going to build it up. So there is our placement stitch. Now from here, we got two options. We can go to add, go back to IQ Designer, grab this design again, and bring it in. But there's a quicker way. If you go to edit and you go to this little guy right here, this is your copy button. Let's copy it. Now it's going to bring it off to the side here. So we're going to go to size, or okay, let me show you this. You can use either three of these. You can use size, move, or rotate. They all have the same things. So if we select size, I can hit this little center button and it'll bring it to the center. Okay. Then we're going to select down at the bottom. Now this is going to seem a little confusing, but we're going to select our first M and we're going to select the center button. And now they're on top of each other in the very center of our screen. So what we have now, let's take a look at our colors, is we actually have two M's. We have our placement stitch and our tack down stitch. How about we take Diane, I'm getting there. We want to take the bottom one. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to select a new color. So I can take this and drag. I'm just going to do it a blue. Okay, so now we have our placement stitch, our tack down stitch. After that, we're going to trim. And what do we need last for an applique? Our finishing stitch, right? So now what we're going to do is go to, okay. Then we're going to go to IQ Designer. And we're going to use, we're going to go to our pocket with the arrow going outside of it. Remember, mine's slow because I saved everything. But I might miss something. Now we can see here. Don't worry about all this other malarkey here. So this was the first one we brought in. Now you see the one with the cookie monster eating out of it. That is the one I want to grab. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit so we can see it. Now I want to go assign this a finishing stitch. So we're going to use our stitches key and use our little piece of paper. We're going to select our little piece of paper. And we have options. And I know what I'm going to use, but you can do whatever you want. You can just do a raw edge with a triple stitch. You can do some candle wicking. You can do some chain stitching. You could actually do a blanket stitch. Oh my God, how cute would that be? Or whatever's built into your machine. You can do some fancy stitches. If you have the Solaris upgrade, you can go ahead and add, our extra stitches. My brain is blanking out right now. But anywho, you can use any of these. I'm just going to use a plain old satin. And I am going to select a color. So I'm going to do this deep purple. I don't know why, I'm just going to grab it. And I'm going to say okay. So remember, we have to assign it to the M of your letter. So we need to press the bucket. And now we can use our finger or whatever and tap the whole thing. And it'll turn dark purple. It looks dark purple on my screen. Now we want to go to next. So this is where we're going to start seeing things look, kind of, it's okay. The satin stitch for an applique should be a little bit, okay? So The first thing I'm going to do is I see some like not openings, but it doesn't seem dense. So I'm going to turn up my density by 10%. That's as far as I can go. That's what I'm going to do. Just to see how that looks. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Next, I'm going to go to my size. Let's see what 160 looks like. I'm trying to keep the integrity of this, which still doesn't look that bad, but still have enough coverage, because what we want is to make sure that this is going to go over the edges of our fabric. If we were to use it at the 0.80, then you would hate it, because it's going to show all your pokies. And those pokies are the little pieces that are the outside of your cutting line that just stick up and drive you crazy, and you're trying to pick them out and you just can't, because now you're tearing fabric and it's just a nightmare. So we want it to be a little thicker. I'm actually okay with that. I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to select set. Now, let me go back. If you're on an Altera Meridian, yours is not going to pop up just like this. You're going to assign it, whatever. Then you're going to see the word preview down here. So you're going to hit preview OK, look at it. If you don't like it, you're going to hit it's either back or return button right here, and it'll bring you back to that designing screen again, which is this minus showing you that. When you fixed it, you're going to hit preview OK again. Okay. And if you like it, you're good to go. So at this point, we're going to hit set. Okay, now you could have saved that. And notice how it's off from my other design. Okay, all we have to do is go to edit, either size, move, or rotate. Let's go to move. We have that same center button and click it on top. What? Look at that. Look at that. How cute is that? I mean, this M is really darling. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out, because what's next? We're going to bring our name in that we saved. So we want to go to add, and I'm going to look for my pocket. And mine's going to pull up right here. So here's Micah. Let's pull that up and set. And it's in the center, but let's really move it to the center. So you can see it kind of hanging out there. I'm going to click move and then center just to make sure it really is in the center. Yep, it came in the center. Now I'm going to rotate. So I'm going to click the word, well, let's zoom in. Let's go 150. I'm going to click rotate 90 degrees to the left. And now I'm going to start moving her over. Okay, so to me, it's a little high. The H is going into the M, and the bottom of the M is way far away. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So you're going to have to eyeball it. I love eyeball centering, positioning. Okay. So I've got it pretty close. And oh my God, guys, I'm in love. I'm so in love. Maylin, girl, you started some. Ooh, we should have done M for Maylin. Or we should have done Maylin for the M. However, I want to see it without my little red boxes. So I'm going to go over to my embroidery screen, and oh my God. I love it. Love it. Let's look at it in the hoop to make it. Can I zoom in here? Yeah, I can zoom in. I know, this is so great. Look at it zoomed in. Girl. This is how I play. This is how I play with stuff. And how I can you just got to think of it in layers. Again, if we're thinking of an applique and you want to build it, you have to start with the bottom layer, the next layer, the next layer. And then we have to think about what we can use in our machine. So we used the outline, right? And we used Applique Designer. This is so cute. We've got to stitch it up. Okay, so, where is, oh, I hope I have some room. Meaning, I hope I, let's pull it out of the meridian, my bobbin thread. Okay. I know it's not supposed, I'm not supposed to really use it, but it works. Okay, so I've got it pulled over, and we're going to now come over here. And I think what I'm going to do is I hate that. So I'm going to turn this, but also going to turn it on my computer. So if you get dizzy, what is your eyes? Let me, oh gosh, I'm about to knock my computer. Hold on. I'm getting too excited. Oh Lord. Okay. Give me just a split second. Okay. All right, I'm going to start turning it. Okay, so if you get dizzy, don't watch this part. There we go. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I've got a pretty blue that I'm going to actually use. Kind of matches the blue in the stripes. And if you weren't here for the beginning, wait till you see these. They are K facet. And if I could find more of it, because I think it's a few years old, I would just buy so much of it because it's so beautiful. I'd love to do some. All right, so don't judge me here. Oops, I forgot to pull out this thing. But guys, she hasn't been to the shop. She hasn't been to a spa day in a long time. And I knocked my needle threader out of whack. So I have to hand thread it. It's okay. And I just need to take it and get it done. Okay, I'll use that for my foot. Now, again, this is just our practice run. So I'll lock this out. So I've just got some no-show mesh, a piece of white fabric, and some tape. It's because I like to pull this. Now, could we build some? Oh, it's saying go to a larger frame. Are you kidding? You are correct. That made this thing huge. I wonder if I can turn it sideways. Hold on. Layout, rotate. Okay, it's going to be sideways. Okay, because I made it a little too big. All right. Okay. So it's going to go across this way. Yeah, let's go for it. Y'all ready? I know, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm glad you saw this. This was really fun to me. Really, really. Where can I go to see the order of my videos? You can go to my YouTube, and they all are in order. They start back from the very beginning of time till a few months ago. I keep forgetting to add newer ones to it just because of life. And so I will get the last two up. I will make sure I take my computer into the living room tonight and get the last two up. So the one before this and this one. I promise. Promise. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do our placement stitch first, right? Right. Okay, so let's hit placement stitch. We're going to hit start. So this is going to do our M, or your letter. The other thing I want to show you before we leave is how to do an awkward letter, like a letter A, because it's slanted. And I was kind of playing with my name earlier. And it's just going to have to be slanted. The name is just going to have to be slanted in there. I wish I was smart enough to design some letters for you guys, meaning like my own line letter, my own outline letter for IQ designer, So maybe if I can figure out how to do that, or if I can get someone to do that, we can upload them to here and you can use them. And now you're joining me. It's okay. When the video's done, please go back to the beginning of this because this turned out so good. We're so proud of it. Me and Maylin are so proud of it. Okay. So next, I'm gonna bring my beautiful cave fabric in that I only have one more little piece of. Well, I mean, I have an extra piece, and I'm gonna lay it. Let's save some. Let's save some. I'm gonna lay it out. Okay, and we're going to tack that down with our tack down stitch. So this is our second stitch. Surprising myself sometimes. I get so excited when I get to figure something out. Now, when we're using Applique Designer and we're doing a running stitch, it's always going to go around twice. Honestly, I love that. If an applique design, say a purchase applique design, only has one go around on the tag down stitch, I always back it up and go over it again. And the reason being is the stitch is stronger. So if I get too close, then maybe it won't be so bad if I snip a thread or two. Okay, now this is going to be the iffy part. Not iffy, I mean, it can be done, but cutting around here. So let's back it up a little bit. And I can watch me struggle with this. On the struggle bus. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of some of this fat. Now I have more to pull. We can waste a big old piece of fat. Okay, and I'm just going to start trimming. And I love these. I have a couple pairs of these. These are the Quilter Select Applique shears. And what I love about them is they are duckbill. Yay. But what it also has are these pointy ends, which will help you get into little teeny places. Okay, so let's go ahead and start cutting. I'll start at the rough end here. And yes, I do go backwards. I don't use duckbills as they are made to be used, but I suggest you doing things the right way or doing it the fun way, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to start going around these little bitty nooks and crannies. And an applique is always the best when you can get it as close as possible. But sometimes it is hard, especially when the shears you're using may not be, applique shears. They may just be regular shears. Just take your time. You don't have to have all the tools. Just take your time. Whatever you got. Use what you got. But I do love this. Okay, that came out pretty good. Okay, got that. Another tip for getting really close to the edge is if you're going to want to watch, but you can kind of hold it up and over like this and just kind of start cutting. You still have to watch. I know it's kind of weird. This one, I can really kind of go like this. I can see it from behind, but I'm not going to do that right now because remember, so right, wrong world. In the sewing world, we just learn from each other. Everything that I'm doing right now, I've built on from what I've learned from others. Someone had to teach me how to use the machine, and then they just let me go. Ideas just started coming. Now, I may not be as great as coming up with ideas, but I sure can look at someone else's idea and go, you know what, I think we can do that too. Okay, so this is gonna get a little tight right here, so I'm gonna get in there. Arm is already hurting with little tiny. Woo, get it through. See if I can lift this up. I get, I might just have to just ignore that because I don't think I can get that far down. That's okay. The satin stitches will cover that part up. Almost there. Maybe not. I've got to do the bottom still. All right, I'm getting there. Oh, I'll plug it from there. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this extra off and get it out of my way. Now, if you were going to use the flat bill side, this is how you would do it. You would just come in and slide it underneath. Yes, it does. But for me, I just like using the point, and I've gotten comfortable using the point all the way around. So it's up to you if you want to do it. Almost, gosh, I love this fabric. That is, isn't it so stinking cute? Anybody knows where I can get some more of this new color. And K fabrics are so soft. They're beautiful. And I have a few that, of course, hang on to stuff. As I was going, I got a new shelving unit. And as I was going through my fabrics to separate them out, I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff I have that I can have to use. And a lot of it's really pretty. Some of it I'm like, why did I buy that? But I'm sure I had a project that come to fruition. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look how cute. Look how stinking cute that is. So pretty. The mm, I love the fabric. Okay. So now what we're going to do is slide it back on, and we're going to do the satin stitch next. So this should catch everything outside the edges, because remember we widened it and we added a little bit of density to it. So hopefully it'll look nice and thick and chunky. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I can already tell just from where it's starting how far it's going to go across. Get in there. Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Megan. So this is looking quite beautiful. Can't really move the camera out too far, but you'll see when I take it out how beautiful that satin stitching is. Oh, an S. I mean, with that one, I would almost do it down the middle, meaning not the name. I mean, going across like this. I would almost split it up like this with an S. I don't know. I would have to play with that. Or you could make it go through the middle of the S going this way. I don't know. I'm thinking, how could you do with an S? But again, before we leave, I'm going to show you the A and just kind of how I kind of figured out what I was going to do with that. Okay, so since I didn't hoop this good or anything, like I said, this is just a test stitch. I'm getting some stuff. Just a little bit of puffiness here, and that's okay for a moment. Of course, if you're working on a project, you want to do everything right. You want to hoop it right, you want to use the right stabilizers, um, all that. B, S, and G. I'm wondering if we could do it down the middle going vertically. So like if the S is written this way, you could go like down through the middle. I don't know. I don't know. I think you would just have to play with it. Go out there and look and see how other people are doing it. For the block S, it might work. Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. I would kind of peek around and see how they're doing it. I know the fabric's so pretty. It's cave facet and the stripes. But I only have like two little pieces left. Do. Now, for those of you who do not have IQ Designer or um, built into your machine or anything like that, you can most likely do the same thing I'm doing in embroidery software. I mean, you just have to know your software and what tools you have. Um, just always just play with it. I know we could bring it into palette 11 and do this. So just kind of poke around. Oh, I knew I was fine. Oh, 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 let's use this one. Okay. Push my button. Okay, it's gonna cut. Yeah, I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. Let's just wind a quick bob after I lose the bottom. Not more. Oh, girl. This will just take us. So, of course, I'd love to see you make these and post them. See what you do with them. I was on the way home from work. I was like, well, I wish I had like a tote bag that I could sew this on. So I think it's Kimberbell makes the open tote bags where you can just do an embroidery on them and then stitch them up the sides. So I might order some of those, and then that way we can make these as gifts now that we know how to do it. All right. This is so simple too. Now, do this when you have to change out the bobbin. Uh make sure to go here. I'm gonna kind of zoom you down to the bottom. Go to this button right here, your plus minus. And then we want to do minus 10, minus 10. You're going back 20 stitches. And I'm going to say, okay, bring it back over here. And that just kind of reconnects everything. If you start at your last starting point, you have the possibility of like the stitches kind of lifting and being separated. I want them to look good the whole time. All right. We're going to remember I'm not a camera woman. So we will not be back this Sunday night. So I'll be back on the Sunday after this weekend. Because we're getting ready to go on a little trip to Mayo on Monday morning. So I'll be getting prepared for that. So we got all day appointments on Monday in Jacksonville. Oh, well, welcome from Norway. That's so cool. Yay, I'm reaching people in Norway. That's awesome. Yeah, you will be able to rewatch this, I promise. I will let y'all know when I put this up on my YouTube channel. I will link it so you'll be able to subscribe there so you can see all the other videos. It's completely free. So yeah. Welcome. Thanks for joining. That's so cool. Oh, they feel good. Almost there. And look how cute the little I'll show you up in person, but I mean the satin stitches look so good. That's why I love Baby Lock. I mean, I am so partial to them because I really think that their products are top notch. I know I'm partial. Wow, so pretty. All right. We're almost done with this part. And then we just gotta stitch out for me. And then there we go. That's perfect. Oh, but this looks so good. I'm glad I have a little bit more fabric left because I would really like to make her something. Okay, so let me just pull it out so you can kind of take a look. Zoom it down like that's easier. So see how pretty that is? So that's where our name's gonna go. Just looks like we took a little bite out of it. Let's do the name now. Thank you for the hearts. Very, very sweet of you guys. Okay, let's get in there. And we're just gonna hit start and it's gonna do our name now. And this is a really good size, I think. I mean, it's like a big monogram or a big, initial. So we just says we got 2 more minutes. And I think I have my foot a little too high. That's okay. I'm just looking at it. I was trying to remember what I was stitching. What did I stitch last? I cannot remember. I guess really honestly on this machine, y'all, I think it was our last project, which was the keychain lip balm holder. So I'm just using the same blue. You can use a different color here, of course, since the name's going to be totally separate. So, have fun with it. Now, what's looks like it's really popular with these is the varsity letters. So the letters that people are using for, they use for like varsity jackets. So you can find that outline online. So I would just type in whatever letter you want. I found it easier just to do the letter than the R. So let's say we wanted a T. Look out there at the knockout side designs at the T, and you'll see how they did it. It's really cute. It doesn't when you're thinking about it, you don't think it's gonna work, but it works. Anywho, so type in T knock. Oh no, I'm sorry, T varsity letter outline. If you put outline with it, that's what's going to work the best. Oh my gosh, this came out so good. I am so proud of myself right now. Oh my goodness. I figured it out for us, y'all. That was me giggling. Okay. Gosh, that darling. England, thank you again. Oh my goodness. Look how stinking cute. Holy moly. Love it. Love it. And the cool thing about this is it's not run of the mill, meaning that you can't just buy alphabets and throw a name with it like this and cut it out, right? Meaning like you can't buy a pre-made one. So you would have to have someone custom make it. So you would have to have someone custom design this with the name. Okay. Thanks, Diane. So you know how to do it now. I know how to do it now. We did it together. Now, another thing we could have done too is we could have done some fills in there. If we had like some, solid fabric, we could have done a pretty fill in there because of course you can add a fill into your appliques. We know how to do that. If we're doing a pillow or something like that, we can do our outlines, meaning our outline fills. I say outline, but our fills on the outside. So there's so much that you can really do with this. Okay, before I turn the camera back on me, I do want to show you what I was talking about with the A or a weird letter. So I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I kind of have one already kind of mocked up. So I'm going to go home. Actually, let me save this just in case I use it again because it's really, I'll be mad at myself if I don't save it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to IQ Designer because I kind of already built this. So I was playing around and I'm going to pull my A back up with my outline. I saved the outline and the A together. Get in. She is. So it's right here. And this is more kind of like that varsity letter look. So let's zoom in. Sheila. So we can zoom in and you can see that there's my A or my outline right here. So what I'm going to do again is just come in and erase everything in the line except for the little confused. Okay? So let's do that real quick. But what I was going to talk about is angles. So you're just going to have to angle by using rotate. You're going to have to angle this. And what I mean, unfortunately, I can't really show you because I've already got it saved together. But if I were to select rotate, I can use the 10 degrees. And then if I need to go a little bit more, I'm going to use the 1 degree and just kind of tap it until it gets in line with that. Now, like we said, if it was an S, let's say this was a big old S, I wonder if we could break it down this way, like the name is facing to the right. Put the name down this way. The other option is to go in the middle. right here. So we could do it in the middle too, which I think would be kind of cute as well. I think it just depends on the letters. So let me do some erasing here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so I see what I'm doing. And grab my, y'all know I like my square. Get rid of some of this stuff. I should have got rid of the big part. Okay, so I'm just going to start taking out big chunks and then I can. So this might just take a moment of our time. You need to go. I really appreciate you coming. So again, it was just really using the rotate button. Let's just see. There's a little dot. Now make sure you get all the little dots because those will stitch out. Smaller. Away from it. So you'll get used to it. If you're not used to erasing, use a mouse, a wired mouse. And you're just going to come from above things and lightly tap. And again, if we go like that, where we went right through, you just push the button. Now I'm going to just kind of do an ugly job of this and just kind of did it again. Okay, let's just do an ugly job. I'm gonna pretend. I keep doing that. Not a okay. Let's get away from it. Because I would really, really take my time with this. But we're just practicing. And even brought in from the design itself, there's some little lines that we do. Ooh. Went crazy with that one. Inside of here, outside of here. And then we're gonna move in. Oh my gosh, there's all kind of voting here. I don't know if voting is happening around you guys, but it is. I'm getting all kind of messages about who's winning, who's losing. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're just gonna say we're happy. We're gonna pretend. Oh, I get that big on confused right here. Oh. There we go. I have no little bitty pieces. So you can see I just did it at an angle. And again, I used the rotate key when I brought in. So let's bring one in. Because I saved it, you know. Saved my outline. There's Anna. Okay, so let's see right here. So what I did was I just moved it over and started using, oh, let's go to rotate. I started using my rotate key. I didn't start with 90 because it would make it sideways, but I just started going like this and a little bit more. And then I would bring it over, just audition it where I want it. I'm going to try to match it up with you. Bring it down. But I need to come down a little bit more. So basically, I'm trying to get rid of this. But make it go away. So we can bring at least the A over. Come on. There we go. We're getting it. So let's do. All right. So let's just go ahead and make this a satin stitch and pretend like it's our last piece. Now I have to do the inside too. Remember your inside pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna hit next and I'm gonna pretend like this is what I'm using. I'll make it bigger. Look at this one. Just look at your letter and see if it runs into, oh no, that's good. And then we want to do this piece too. Maybe not like this big, maybe 160 because it's going to run into everything else. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Now I'm going to hit set. Okay. And now what we're going to do is add the name. I had saved it vertically, so I'm going to grab that. And I'm going to edit, move, start bringing it over. And then I'm just going to have to play with the rotate to get her in there. Let's go rotate. Go a little bit 10. And I might just have to pick it up and drag it till I'm happy. And still have to play with the rotate. There, start. Let me do it right. Make it. I also think that maybe the name is a little bit too big, so I don't know if I really like this one. However, that's how I would do it. I would just play with it until I liked it. But I mean, so cute. Okay. So with all of that being said, woo guys, we did it. We did it. I'm so excited. Okay. So again, here she is in all her glory. That came out so stinking cute. So good. And the fabric makes it really cute. So I hope that you guys will take this lesson, play around with your letters, play around with some outline letters from the interwebs. And when you do something, post it. I'd love to see what you do. So we spent Tuesday night together. Huh? Okay. Just make sure everyone's here. Okay. I am going to head off because I'm getting tired. However, I will try to post these up very soon. I'm going to try to post them tonight if it works. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week and next week, and I'll see you in about, I guess a week and a half-ish. I don't know. So I hope you guys will post some stuff up. I want to see it. Okay. All right. I'm getting awkward now. Okay. I hope y'all have a great week. Okay. And remember to shop local, shop small. And I will see you all soon. Again, if you have any questions, holler.